Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Inferno Cast, episode 75. And the Inferno Cast, of course, a family and friends and you podcast about video games. We're going to start off with a question for the audience. In Super Mario World, is Mario ditching Yoshi off a cliff a war crime? Let us know in the comments section below if you're watching/listening through YouTube. And surprise, surprise, this is the season finale. We are ending this season at 75 episodes. When we come back, we'll be on a fresh new season and we maybe a little bit of retooling, a little bit of fun, but we will be back. But tonight, we've got a lot of fun stuff planned. But just a general notice again and reminder to make sure to check out Simbu Darkfang here on his Sunday evening streaming at 7 p.m. Central for WWE 2K24 at the Scurry Face channel on Twitch. Again, WWE 2K24 on the Scurry Face channel on Twitch, 7 p.m. Central on Sundays. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend checking that out. Before we get into our main topic, I'm going to surprise these guys with a tough hitting pre-discussion topic. This is a tough one. And Storm, I'm putting you on point with this. Storm, what are you currently playing?
Right now, I'm currently playing Coffee Talk. The fun, yeah. Every time I started, that's what I hear in my head. Coffee Talk. The fun little, choose your own adventure kind of game, but it you're basically a barista in an overnight coffee shop that caters to the orcs and the elves and witches and vampires that all have now come to commingle amongst humans after some war and blah blah blah. And you get to listen to their problems and make them coffee drinks. So not that bad. And then there's the old standbys of, Fortnite, so which I am always enjoying. So that's
Cool.
about it.
Very nice. I've heard a couple YouTuber friends mention Coffee Talk, so it's really cool to hear that you're playing that and enjoying your time with it.
I am.
Um,
It
oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. I can play it for a little bit and then take a break because it's a lot of okay, just dialogue, make a drink, more dialogue. And I mean the story bits are fun, but I like to play it in little doses. So it's not terribly time consuming and not terribly heavy on the brain, which is amazing right now.
Very cool. Astrimedes, hopefully I can catch you. What games are you currently playing?
I've gone back to Darkest Dungeon 2 a little bit, but recently I picked up Disco Elysium after having heard a lot about it and have started through playing through that and it's really good. It's like it's as good as everyone says. I feel like there's almost like kind of a 5 minute, like 10 minute adjustment period at the beginning of the game to kind of like understand how everything's gonna work, but like once you get into it, it's a really fun experience. Weirdly, kind of like philosophical and political, and just like really kind of interesting, but very open-ended for you to be whatever sort of person you want to be within this very weird scenario where you're coming out of an amnesia episode. And are kind of free to redefine or define your own personality.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, as you saw, I picked it up because I've heard nothing but good things with it. The art style is really interesting. I need to get into it. Definitely. Um, Heart of Kiss. What are you currently playing right now?
I'm currently playing three different games. Season two of The War Within and World of Warcraft came out today, so got to put some time into that. I've started playing Baldur's Gate 3 with a friend of mine, and I think we just hit chapter 3 last night. And in my solo play, I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is just as ridiculous and fun as the first game.
Dang, Dang, you are definitely running through some really high quality RPGs there.
Oh yeah, and just seeing Danny Trejo in like a dragon is just I love Danny Trejo. He just makes me smile.
Oh my gosh. Um, Simbu, how about you? What are you currently playing?
Oh, well, what's a video game again? I can't remember. My old age kicking in here.
Yeah.
I think I
Oh,
went to I think I
you
became
must be a
level six
CEO.
grandpa now. And just let me fix my tie here and you know. Um, well, I am currently playing Phasmophobia. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is the most realistic ghost hunting experience on console. I know there are other games like it on PC for Steam and whatnot, but as far as console is concerned, those games are not on there. Only Phasmophobia. A lot of fun. Only difference with this game is the ghosts actually can kill you. Uh, other, instead of like Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters where they're following me and throwing balls and stuff. No, these things actually hunt you down and strangle you to death. So it's a lot of fun. It's not so good by yourself. It's a lot more fun with a good group of friends, um, who I've been playing with from Scurryface and whatnot. So I am also just started the game called The Pedestrian today when I got home from work. It is a 2D puzzler platformer. So it's kind of hard to explain. There's really no direction, so to speak, in the game. It's all picture based, but you're playing as the little walk person from the walk signs, and you're going through these different frames, and you got to move the pictures around and connect the things and whatnot. And it's very interesting. I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. The other game I technically am not playing anymore, but I just beat Sunday. That is called The Beast Inside.
Hmm.
It is a horror game. It is a narrative. It is a narrative driven story. You play as a American code breaker. I'm assuming the Russian, like the Cold War era. So you're trying to break the Russian codes. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems because it's a lot of talk about the Ruskies. So pretty sure we're talking Cold War era there. And then you're not only playing there in the quote unquote modern time of that era, but you're also traveling back to one of his ancestors and playing through a very spiritual experience, let's say, because it's very that's where the ghostly horror stuff really takes place. The um, modern day is more like just puzzle solving and things like that. But when you get to his ancestor, then you get the psychological horror and stuff like that. Very fun game. There are two endings. I, of course, chose the most devious of endings. Um, and I really enjoyed that ending because, well, let's just say if I married a woman like that, I would probably want to kill her
Yeah.
too.
Interesting. Uh,
Great statement with no context for the game.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, it's interesting. Kind of like a puzzler slash horror type of a element there. Sounds kind of cool. Jamie Owls, how about you? What are you currently playing?
I'm playing a couple of games at once. Of course, I got back into The Sims again. I just had an inkling of creating new characters, some that I made that people have known in real life, others fictional. A little bit of Dreamlight Valley. I got into the Sonic Origins that I'm playing, and I'm on Sonic 3, Sonic Knuckles. Also playing on the Switch various classic games, Super Mario World, Mario 64. Uh, on my PlayStation, I think Tomb Raider. I'm playing the fourth Tomb Raider game. And I thought there was another one, but I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm playing too many games at once and I need to finish them all before I start like another one. So that's my goal.
Yeah, because there are a few good games that are still coming that I know you'll want to be ready
Mm-hmm.
for. Like what was it, Directive 8020? I think that's going to be coming soon or fairly soon.
Yes,
October.
October, yes. And I know it's already out, but I want to wait till the physical copy is the Hello Kitty game that looks very cute and fun. So I'll be looking forward to that. And a couple of other ones that I currently have that I want to start playing. So I just don't have a lot of time in my life to do all the things I want because, I have to do, that stupid thing called work.
Ugh.
Who wants to work?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least you're cranking through some of those games pretty well. You're on the last
Mm-hmm.
of the Sonic games on Sonic Origins Plus, so
Yes.
that's good. Um, Jason 13th, how about you? What are you currently playing?
Other than Fortnite, I've got sucked back into doing a build in Minecraft right now, but I did start up Phantom Brave. When I'm done with my build, I want to go back to Phantom Brave and actually put some time into it. I've only gotten a little bit into it at the moment.
Yeah, definitely should. And hopefully that means that since you haven't mentioned them, that you've finished both of the Zelda games that you said you were playing last
No,
time,
I
right?
have not finished them. I'm
Oh,
horrible. I'm horrible at finishing games.
yeah. Hey, the important
Uh,
thing is that you're playing them.
a side note: Jason the 13th is currently also hiding what on the game he's playing, and that's Waifu Attack.
Yeah, right.
For me, I just got done playing Terranigma on the Super NES, a really well-known JRPG game that I'd never played before. Finally finished that. I have thoughts about it. Very interesting. Also in the middle of a playthrough for Metaphor. I just hit the 20-hour mark, and I'm not even a quarter of the way through the game. So I'm going to be busy on that for a while. And then when Suikoden comes out, the remaster on Thursday for 1 and 2, I'm going to be playing that on the Switch. Suikoden, Bob's your uncle. Uh, be able to enjoy that there. And then I think really I'll just be doing Suikoden and Metaphor. Just focus on those two because for a while I was doing three games at once where I was doing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on the Switch, and then Kaze and the Wild Masks right after that. I'm up to 16 games beaten so far this year. So, I mean, there's still 10 months to go. So hopefully I can keep that up, although I don't know with these JRPGs. But we're gonna jump into our main topic, and we're talking about power-ups, our absolutely favorite video game power-ups. And speaking of power-ups, to today's sponsor, Hims. If you are a guy and you want to power up, no, we are not sponsored by Hims.
That would have been a perfect sponsor for that.
Yeah, it would have been just an excellent segue. But
Well,
if
there
you
goes
really
my
want to
chance at
power
free
up,
subscription.
enjoy your meal from Factor. That's right,
Ha!
Factor. Get pre-made. No. So we're just going to be kind of reminiscing on some of our favorite power-ups from various video games and what have you, and not just limiting it to uh, just platformers or anything. And it's really like any sort of item that you really enjoy that just really powers up your character. And I guess, one example of that, and this might be a heresy to Simbu, Hardicus, and Storm, but I would say picking up, uh, boy, his original blades from God of War 2018, I could say could be construed as a power up because it's in a way it's him facing his past, new attacks, new stuff like that. But I'm not going to go any more beyond that because I never got that far within that game. So, but I'm just using that to illustrate an example to allow our wonderful cast and crew to give their power ups. And I'm actually gonna break the ice with my first favorite power up, and that's gonna be Super Mario World's Cape Feather that
Mhm.
allows Mario and Luigi to fly and pretty much just indefinitely fly in the air and just it's really what seems like a awkward method to fly, but once you really get the hang of it, it's really uh interesting. I'll say it. I like watching some of the speed runners or even some of the people who make those custom levels use the cape super power up to get Mario through some tight binds. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite power ups. But I'll ask Jamie Owls, what's one of your favorite video game power ups?
Um, so I did a little bit of research to find out if this is a power up or not, but it's showing that it is. So I'm gonna say Yoshi is my favorite power up. Um, so obviously when you play as Mario, Super Mario World, you find Yoshi and you could ride him along with the world. So of course he is my number one. And for those who don't know, I'm a huge Yoshi fan. He was probably my first favorite video game character, and that's before Lara Croft. So yeah, Yoshi is my number one power up.
Nice, that's a good one. It's funny. One of my favorites is from the same game as yours.
Yep, yep.
Eh,
I'm not trying to copy, I swear, but
eh,
it was a
eh,
coincidence.
And my intro question to our audience was also related to that, almost like we planned this. Hmm.
Kind of, but it's also a last minute.
Collusion.
Yeah, it was a last minute decision.
That's a good one. I definitely love Yoshi. He was a favorite for
Hmm.
me growing up too. Um, Jason the 13th, what's your first favorite power up?
Ooh, I'm gonna throw a curveball and throw one out that since we're talking favorites, gotta go back to the BioShock games. Out of all the powers you get in BioShock, the favorite one of mine was the bees, where you get to control a bunch of bees and throw bees at all your enemies.
Not the
That was
bees.
that was
Ah,
the
Bees,
my
bees in the
favorite.
car, bees everywhere.
I've never watched that movie.
yeah, I don't think you need to. You just need
Yeah, I've
to
heard
watch that
only
scene.
horrible things about that movie.
What, Tommy Boy?
No, no, not Tommy Boy.
That's what I quoted.
Oh, no.
The
Oh,
original's good.
the original Tommy Boy?
No.
You're showing the
The
bees.
original Wicker Man or whatever this is. I think
Oh
Wicker Man,
yeah,
right?
I've seen that.
I think it was
Bees.
like 70s or something.
God,
That's
that movie
terrible.
sucks.
That's
Not like
But
that movie at
in
all.
BioShock, it's fun throwing bees at all your enemies.
I will say Wicker Man, not to be confused with Iron Maiden's song of the same name. Fantastic song.
Storm, how about you? What's one of your favorite power-ups?
One of my first favorite power-ups is the star in Mario Kart
Mhm.
because it's the only way to protect yourself from them stupid blue shells if you happen to be in first place, which is not rare if I'm playing with others, such as Inferno Fox or whatnot. But yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites because it makes you a little bit invincible for the time and maybe give you an edge up and get faster or get by stupid traps and banana peels and whatnot and red shells. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, it's a very great about power up, especially if you can frickin' like double that with the power slide ability. Man, that's you
Yes.
get a lot of speed.
It's a good combination.
It is. Astrimedes, what's one of your favorite power ups?
I would say from the game Inscription. And I kind of briefly mentioned these, I think possibly on an earlier episode, but the game Inscription, it's kind of presented from a first person perspective where you sit down at a table and you're playing this card game, and there's a scale that keeps track of how many points each side has scored in this card game. you fill the scale up with these like gold teeth for some reason. So the first power up, you can hold as the player these kind of consumable items that are the kind of most power up analog in this game. But it's their pliers. And the description to the players, you will place a weight on the scales. The pain is temporary. And the way it presents when you activate it is you see your own hand coming up holding the pliers, inserting in your mouth. There's some kind of disturbing sounds and kind of a ringing sound they play in the background, and tears the tooth out and drops it on the scale. And it's a power up because that's 1 point of the 10 you need to win.
Jesus. Oh, that's a good power up, but man.
The presentation, I mean, like obviously what I like about it a lot, like what it does is extremely simple, but like the presentation and the way it's kind of like built into the lore of the game rather than feeling like something from outside it is I always think that's fun and appreciate it. So given the tone of the game, it's also real appropriate for the game, and it's an early thing you kind of see in the game that clues you in what you're kind of in for.
Wow. Oh man. Uh that's that kind of makes me think of like Marathon Man, the whole is it safe thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can't do the teeth thing. Um, Simbu, how about you? What's one of your favorite power-ups?
So
Ooh,
slightly misunderstood the assignment this week. I was under the impression favorite power-ups we wanted in real life. So this is why I've been frantically looking away from the camera the entire time, because I am now redesigning my choices. If there's time at the end, I'll give you those one. I'll give you those answers. But number one, and it's going to be the most favoritist thing Inferno Fox ever had in a video game ever.
Halo Sword?
No, no, I'm not talking about Revelio. I'm talking about the original Revelio from those games, and that from games like that. And I'm calling Eagle Vision from Assassin's Creed.
Hmm.
It is where you are able to push up, and it basically echolocates out throughout the entire city, kind of highlighting objectives and nearby things like that.
Oh, that's neat. That's very cool. So you've said it does kind of work like Revelio.
Yes, I'm almost positive that like the Revelio spell or something like that from the Harry Potter books or in Wizardry period was probably the inspiration for Eagle Vision. But again, we didn't have the Harry Potter game first. There we had Assassin's Creed first, so I give credit for that to Assassin's Creed for implementing it into the game. Like I said, it's real good. You can kind of see your targets. You can, if your target's hidden, amongst somebody, it kind of picks them out. It highlights them in red and highlights something in gold if you need to go get it. It's a fantastic thing for open world in general.
Nice. And makes sense with Ubisoft having that as a device, as it were. I mean, obviously they're the ones that made the Far Cry series, and not saying Far Cry is anything related to Assassin's Creed, but they know how to make those games. So that's really cool. Interesting.
Yeah,
Nice to know
it's like
the
a
origins of that.
yeah, it's a ping ability.
That makes sense. Hardicus, how about you? What's one of your favorite power-ups?
Well, I tried to stay away from item-based power-ups as best I could. My first one's kind of
Oh, big man.
hey, I think that is a total separate subject. Because item-based power-ups, we could have a whole nother show on that one.
All right, children,
I'll just
don't
double
make me
dip
come
then.
back there. Don't make me come back there, children, and separate you two.
Anyways, my first one's a little generic, but I think it's something that every single gamer can appreciate, no matter what kind of game you play, that it has a system like this. And it is basically the just kind of generic skill or level up. It is, in every game it's a little bit different. Your stats increase, your skills increase, your powers increase, and I think it's something that just everyone can enjoy and associate with gameplay.
Numbers
So
of
I'll
them.
play Mr. Devil's Advocate because I see Simbu's muted. Some games you don't want to level up, or depending on how you play, like I have to be that guy to throw the reference, but like Undertale, sometimes you don't want to level up, especially if you're doing a specific run that pertains to that specific game, the Pacifist's run.
Yeah, but that's really reserved for those kind of gamers that like to set those kind of goals for themselves, kind of like the
But
what do they call it? The Souls-like gamers, like, oh, you're not a real gamer unless you hit a no hit
it
and stayed at level 1.
not Undertale specifically. To get the true ending of Undertale, you have to do a pacifist run to get that what I'm sorry, not the true ending, the true happy ending. That's the hands. That's important. Uh for Undertale. Now, if you want to do the opposite and do what you mentioned, you have the genocide ending or run, and you literally murder any and all the monsters, and you pay for it at the end by fighting one of the hardest bosses ever. But it depends on the game. But I know what you're saying. I'm just being annoying to you, Hardicus.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
I'm
here,
aware.
I guess
You picked
I
the
will.
one niche game that comes on to play.
To also be that guy, in
Oh,
Disco
geez, here it
Elysium,
comes.
as
Oh
statistics
no,
raise, which are generally tied to personality traits, you actually act out more in sort of over-the-top ways. Like there's an ability called Inland Empire that is your ability to have kind of hunches and make sort of off-the-wall connections. And when it gets very high, you start literally imagining connections rather than always necessarily benefiting from the right ones. So there.
and I guess I will start off with this one.
Oh boy.
Any game that I have played where you start off at the end of the story and then you level up to the beginning and you have to become basic again, I don't like that.
That's
Hey,
almost like life, where you have start at nothing, then you level up, and then you're born. Sometimes you just want to stay where you were.
and there are certain games that do that little trope very well. And then there's others that don't even cover it. You just start with nothing.
Right? Much like
I mean,
life.
I'd rather start with nothing, honestly, and then build up to be an awesome badass than be like, oh yeah, hey, look, you're Ezio Auditore, you can do all this stuff. But hold on, let's take you back 10 years, and then you gotta build back up to this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or like almost every Metroid game where you start off with so many of your stuff and then some ridiculous thing happens and oh, you got knocked into a wall, and even though you're like one of the strongest bounty hunters in
Amnesia.
space, that one knock causes an electric reaction that makes you lose all your abilities. Okay, that's cool. Great. Awesome. Um, I'm going to start another round of power-ups. I'm going to say another one of my favorite power-ups. That's going to be the Mario 64's wing cap power-up, because this was always a ton of fun being able to pick up the cap and fly around, especially in like a lot of those open worlds and everything like that, where you're just it's like the Bombs Battlefield, for example, you're just flying around, or even I really wish it was something that you could like equip and use at your leisure. Like I'd love to have had that on like the last world. That was at the rainbow over the bridge, or bridge over a rainbow. Would have been cool to have the wing cap there just to fly around and explore everything with that. But yeah, I'm gonna say the wing cap from Mario 64. Um, Jamie Owls, what is another one of your favorite power-ups?
Okay, so my second favorite, it's still under the Mario category, and my second power-up I really like is the little cat, the little bell, where you turn into a cat from Super Mario 3D World. As you know, I love cats, so Gotta go with that one. I just think it's cute that all the characters are like these little cats and you get to climb up the walls and scratch and even like do that cool flip and you like fly down to the location you're about to land. I thought that one was really cute and clever. It's like you have to have a cat in Mario. Come on now. It's the 21st century.
It was even in the movie too. Done
Yeah,
very
that's
well.
true. Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, no Super Saiyan cat power.
Oh, but we could go
Yet.
Super Saiyan Sonic.
Could do that. Hardicus, what is your second favorite power up, or your second entry for favorite power up?
Again, tried to stay away from the items, but I went with the Dragonborn shouts on this one.
Ooh.
I wish we could do that in real life. Holy
That
Right.
crap.
almost made my list.
I mean, it's a versatile power set, and it just, I mean, who wouldn't want to just look over at Jason, I mean, and just say,
Oops.
Fustura and
Hold
send him
on.
flying.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
You're
mine.
not wrong.
It's got such a great power set, and doesn't rely on an item or anything like that. So I would like to have all that kind of range of power.
I like that. I think Jamie Owls and I have said that years ago where we're at Jewel or Meijer. Of course, if you're in the Chicagoland area, for those listening out of the area, these are our local grocery stores where we
It's
got
pronounced Jules and Myers.
some
We're
old
getting the
person or
S's.
something blocking the aisle and
Yep.
just like they're on their phone because that's what the old people do is they're on their phones all the time.
I
You
have
just want to
rage
go
from that.
and just blow them out away from you. Oh, that's fun. I wish we had that. Simbu, what is another one of your favorite power-ups?
For my power up, disclaimer: the Inferno cast does not condone abuse of elderly people.
Some deserve it though.
Not saying it.
I'm just trying to cover the demonetization basis here.
I think with me saying genocide, I think that already did it. But and that literally was a video game reference.
No, the Inferno cast does not condone genocide.
Yeah.
How else am I going to fight Sans? Come on. Sorry, Simbu.
I don't know. It's all right. I'm kind of lackluster tonight, anyways. But let's go with, and I'm gonna hit Fox with one of his favorite game series of all times, and that is Crack. No, it's not bees. No, it's not bees. It is the Crack. Put on the spiked brass knuckles, and let's just start punching demons. Of course, I'm talking about Berserk mode in Doom. Nothing more satisfying than
2016 Doom, right?
Any of them. We've got its power-ups all the way back to Doom 2.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll shut up.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I agree with you, except on the classic PC ones. The classic PC ones, Berserk mode sucked. But on Doom 2016 and Eternal, it's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, that's an awesome power.
Well, again, even though it may have sucked back, it may suck now, but back then, again, you got to think. There's nothing like sitting there and you're shooting these demons from hell for ungodly amounts of times to kill them. And then just all of a sudden you grab a little vial and you crack your knuckles and now you're just punching the living hell out of them.
Chainsaw. The OG chainsaw does beat the Berserk on that. Nothing like ripping and tearing with the chainsaw.
I will agree. But as you stated, Fox, with 2016, yes, there is nothing like HD graphics ripping and punching these demons to death, much like the big flying ones with the single eye, and just punch right into the eye. And yes,
I'm so excited for Dark Ages. I totally forgot that that's coming in 2 months. Oh man.
Well, there's your reminder. 2 months out, people.
That is a very good one, Simbu. I love it. That's a very, very good one. Oh man. Um, Astrimedes, what is another one of your favorite power-ups?
I've got another one from Inscription. This one is called Special Dagger. With this one, when you use the item, you see again, you're sitting kind of at a table playing a card game. There's the scales for scorekeeping. To the left of you, you use this item and you see your character hold the dagger out, sort of hesitate, and then drive it towards their face. Half your vision goes black. There's a ringing, again, very kind of like visceral in the presentation. It You pull the dagger back out, half your vision kind of returns, and you plop your eyeball on the scale, and it's worth 4 teeth. And when you use that one, the kind of neat thing they do is they sort of build a puzzle out of it where, so after you've removed your eye and after using this item, the kind of monstrous guy you're playing against at the other side of the table, he offers you a box that he opens that contains all these different sort of glass eyes, they look like. They're all sort of styled differently, and every one of those eyes has like a different vision effect that occurs when you put it on, and one of them reveals like a clue hidden elsewhere in the room that's part of solving a different puzzle, and there's little I like, again, like, the visceral presentation, and I just always think gory nasty things are fun, and I always like the notion of the player hurting themselves to get power-ups. Maybe says a lot about me. But this one, I think it's really neat that it kind of plays into, again, it's like all in universe and doing things like providing a power up to change like the scale of the battle, and also like advancing a puzzle, all in a way that feels very like within the actual world of the game, which is what I think is neat about all these power ups and Inscription.
And it's funny, and it's a fun twist on power up, because by powering up your main character, you are depowering yourself, you as the player. It's a very cool twist. Very, very cool twist. Um, I need to play that game. I think I showed you guys I picked that up for the physical copy for the Switch. I need to play it. It sounds like it's good. It sounds like it's very good and gory.
It's really neat. I have a lot of thoughts about the overall design of the game and everything, but it's a great game, and in parts it's like very memorable.
Um, Storm, what is your second entry for favorite power-ups?
That would be, um, let's see. I have two I can decide from. Oh, the one is not Miss Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man's power pellets. Come on. The only way to beat and get rid of those ghosts using, the eating the power pellets. Yep. It's my first and favorite ever power up from my first ever favorite video game. So, that's that is a that is it. That's it. I
I
got
knew that
nothing
was going to be
fancy
on
to
your
say.
list.
Yep. It had to be. And little predictable, and that's okay today. That
That's
is
a good
totally
one.
okay.
I almost picked it just to mess with you.
You know, I would expect nothing less from you, Hardicus, and
Right?
I'd take all of the abuse only because it's you.
Yeah, just like
Aw.
somebody else, like Hardicus taking somebody else's answer last week, a certain Lara Croft, Hardicus.
Hey, what can I
Hey,
say?
hey, yeah. Uh,
Hey.
yeah, I no, having something predictable. It's a comfort food game, so it would make sense that it would be a favorite power up. That
Exactly.
totally makes sense. Plus, the idea of actually being able to eat ghosts. I
Yep.
mean, speaking of that, are you looking to try Shadow Labyrinth when that comes out, Storm?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's interesting that Bandai Namco is doing that with the Pac-Man franchise, It's an interesting thing that it's literally a samurai third person action gameplay, and it's literally based on Pac-Man. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. And, they like to do a whole lot of things with Pac-Man that are more than what the original Pac-Man, eating pellets were and whatnot. It kind of reminds me of maybe the Pac-Man cartoon coming to life and now has his own video game series, that kind of thing, because it's way different. But I'll give it a try because why not? See what they do to this little yellow guy.
Yeah. Now, Jason, what is your second choice for favorite power-ups?
So I picked one that I originally thought was an April Fool's joke, but had to try it and found out it was a real thing. Getting Street Fighter moves in Mega Man X.
Oh, yep. Oh, it's
Yeah,
such a
you got
good
the
one.
Hadouken and the Shuriken. Is that how you say the second one? They
Yeah,
were they
for
were
for
hidden.
us dumb Americans, we just
Yeah, I
call it the
know.
Dragon Punch.
I'm sure I'm horribly saying it. But I honestly, when I heard about it, I thought it was an April Fool's joke, and there was no way that they were putting Street Fighter moves in a Mega Man game. But nope, you get them. That was so fun to go find them, get them, and then use them through like everything.
Because if you hit an enemy with it, even a boss, even the last boss, it's instant death for that enemy. It's awesome.
Hmm.
A little broken, but it's
Oh
still
yes,
still
but it was
awesome.
fun. It was fun to have and use it.
Now my excuse me. In the same vein of one of Jamie Owl's choices, my third and final choice for favorite power up is going to be Dixie Kong from Donkey Kong Country
Ha!
Tropical Freeze. Because in Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, the little monkey buddies that he has are not playable unless you do multiplayer, and it's simultaneous, but they're instead power-ups. Diddy just lets Donkey Kong float in the air for a second, but Dixie not only does that, but actually lifts and floats and actually causes DK to rise up and reach higher platforms. So that's pretty helpful. And Dixie also, when swimming in the water, allows DK to actually go faster because she uses her ponytail. I don't know how it's a thing that she has control of, but she uses it as kind of like how like a ship engine. And it's even required for like one or two bonus rooms in the game. So yeah,
Yep. Inferno, when you figure out how Tails flies, then you'll figure out how Dixie Kong uses her ponytail.
at least I could see the Tails' tails being actually like physically, have like musculature and like bone and whatnot, whereas hair is just hair. Yeah. But yeah, definitely Dixie Kong for that. Uh, Jamie Owls, what is your third favorite power up?
This one is not under the Super Mario category. It's from a completely different game. My third choice would probably be the Aku Aku mask for Crash Bandicoot. Um, I haven't played Crash Bandicoot in a long time, but knowing from my experience that some of the levels are quite challenging and some I would say a little bit too challenging enough to where I stopped playing. So using the Aku Aku mask, which helps you protect yourself if you got hit by something, and sometimes there are certain areas in levels to where I cannot for the life of me get through a certain part without that mask. I kind of wish there was an option to where like you can just kind of have that on automatically because I would say I'm not like a huge pro when it comes to video games. I watch people play I play through the level that I'm trying to get through and they just go through it so smoothly where I died like 5 million times. So yeah, that's probably my last favorite power up.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's been a part of me that's kind of getting an inkling to try Crash Bandicoot
You
myself, just
should.
Just see so you can see how frustrated I get with some of
Mhm.
those levels. God. Um, Astrimedes, your third favorite power up, and hopefully we're not like detaching our noses or our arms or anything. Though it wouldn't surprise me. What you got?
Not quite. I wanted to sort of keep the theme going, and this one maybe doesn't quite fit because it's almost more of like a plot thing than a power up that you get in the game. But Resident Evil 7, The Mold. It has effects on the main character that means that he can reattach limbs with just applying kind of medical serum,
Yeah.
and for fear of, getting too far into the plot, whatever, I'll kind of leave it at that. But it's one of those sort of similar to like a almost zombie type thing, even though in some cases it doesn't really change their mind or whatever. But an infection that turns you into something else that also has benefits.
That's a good one. Yeah. Such as wanting to eat a whole bunch of really crazy food like the dinner scene. Ugh.
One of the best scenes in the game right there.
It's about one of the best scenes in the series, honestly.
Yeah.
The bug scene.
Ooh.
Mm.
I don't know. I still think one of my favorites is Boulder punching Chris from 5.
Chainsaw blocking Chris, or
Yeah,
chainsaw blocking Leon,
yep,
right?
with the little piddly
Yeah,
ass knife.
not
Because
even
that
a K bar. It's just some like cheap military Chinese military knife. Like, it's not even a good quality one.
because
Look
it
at his
works.
arms, though.
Yeah, those arms, able to brace the knife. Um, Jason the 13th. What is your third favorite power up?
All right, so we got to go to Pokemon for this one. With all the little gimmicks they've done, they've have it overpowered, and I know a lot of people like the Terrestrialization from Scarlet and Violet, which is my favorite of all the gimmicks that Pokemon has done to power up your Pokemon. And it does not make it overpowered like Gigantamax from Sword and Shield or the what everyone wants back with all the mega evolutions because you have to go find an item to evolve them to a new form and that makes them all overpowered. I can't spit it out anymore. Terrestrialization lets you change your type in the battles, so it's a lot more strategy and it makes it more intriguing while you're doing the battles for in Pokemon. And there is a bee Pokemon, but there are no bee types.
So you can't do the terrestrialization to the bee Pokemon?
You can actually. Well, actually, no, I don't think Beedrill's in the game. In Beedrill is not in Scarlet and Violet, so no,
Oh,
you cannot.
well, I'm not gonna play it now. If you can't have the bees, then what's the point? What's the point of doing it?
But it is definitely makes it more fun in the battle aspect for me since it's a lot more strategy than just make you something overpowered in your battle. So
Nice. No, that's a good one. Yeah, it's not as crazy as the mega evolutions and
yes.
uh were you one of the ones that was disappointed with the with Mewtwo's mega evolution? Am I remembering that right, or was that somebody
No,
else?
it wasn't. I can't say that was me in that one.
Okay, because I thought I heard something about it, expecting it to be like this big thing, but just it didn't look cool or something, or wasn't
Yeah,
the abilities weren't great.
Mewtwo is one of two Pokemon. They got two different megas. The one is a cool mega, and the other one's a mega. So
Maybe that was it. Okay. Simbu, you got a third power up for us?
I actually do. Um, and just because it's gonna grind hard to kiss his gears, I'm gonna do it. It is an item power up, and that would be from the Horizon series, Aloy's Focus. Now we have things like the Google glasses or the Meta glasses or whatever that is but I don't want to. I already wear glasses, so I don't want to look like a double dork with another set of glasses on top of glasses. Um, but having something like just an earbud, an earpiece, a little thing, a little earpiece that you toss on and sits there and scans the environment and whatnot, and combo that with the tactical pad from Halo.
That's a good combination, actually. Some real high technology we'll probably never see, but like the idea of doing all of that at once, like ah, now why would that annoy Hardicus?
Because it's an item based thing.
Ah, that's funny. Hardicus,
Hi.
you do you have a retort on that, or
Nah,
failing that your
it's not
third power
worth
up?
it. You guys got your silly item-based power-ups. Anyways, so my third one is actually from Baldur's Gate 3 and I just got it on my cleric last night. And it's one of those ones that I would actually really love to have, even though it would totally not work for me. And that is Divine Intervention. In the game, you've got a couple different options when you cast the spell. You can have, your deity rain down radiant damage on everything around you. You can resurrect your allies. You can create a legendary mace. Or believe the last one is to create a bunch of supplies like potions and camp supplies and such like that. So I think that would be a really awesome power, just to be like, hey, Kali, or Ganesh, or whoever you worship, get your ass down here and help me.
I like how you preface that with, that's probably not going to work for me or help
Being
me,
an
but
atheist, it's well, who am I going to call down? Hey, Spider-Man,
Hey,
come help me.
the flying spaghetti monster.
Exactly.
watch, it was the word atheist that demonetized us.
Sorry.
Damn it, hillbilly.
You
So I
can
like how
edit that part out. We're not live.
you have the non-item based ones. So that was good. You made it a little bit tougher, almost like you were playing through at level 1. Huh.
I hate you, Inferno.
Had to do it. Had to be done. Storm, what is your third favorite power-up?
It is a freezing burst that's done by Kratos in God of War. He uses his axe, and if you aim it just right, you can free some enemies in place, giving you the chance to, attack them without getting attacked back. But that is a pretty nifty one.
Nice. I like it. And everybody gets bonus points because everybody gave power-ups that were from non-licensed games, non-movie, comic book, TV show licensed games. So bonus points all around for everybody on their power-ups.
So you're saying the Mario Brothers movie doesn't count since it's
Because it
not
was a video game
directly
first.
from Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
how you
he's
get around
talking
that.
like X-Men or
Oh, okay.
Avengers.
It wasn't a non-game IP. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say when you're saying non-movie though, I'm like
Because
all the
Right,
Mario
like if
games. I understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
like if I
I don't
said
think.
Jason's mother's sweater in Friday the 13th, I would have violated the rule and therefore just did. Or
Oh no, there was no rule
the
besides that,
record. Not that it was a rule.
we're talking about video games, but
I would have messed up our IP record.
yes. But we did well. And to that end, let's have a bonus question for you guys. And Simbu, you're going to lead us off. So power-ups that you could take into the real world, what is the one that you would want to have? And this kind of goes with your original choices. Out of those, your one that you would have.
My only one?
You can
Oh.
tell us your other two, but what would be your number one choice?
All right. My number one absolute Negating fall damage. How awesome would that be? You never have to worry about taking fall damage from anything.
I would hate
Now,
it. I would hate it because you would negate damage. It's saying nothing about feeling pain. So you'd feel the whole fall, but your body's not going to get damaged.
right. But again, though, pain is temporary.
Glorious forever. Sorry, Simbu.
And of course, my other two, I just wanted to twist the screwdriver in Hillbilly's side there. That would be the Animus from Assassin's Creed, because not only is it it's not just a VR. It reads the ancestry and the DNA of the user, so you get to experience your ancestors, not just oh, I'm gonna see what it's like to be a Dragonite for a while. No, you could actually go back in time and live through your ancestors' eyes. I think that would be really fun to do. And fun kind of power up to have. And of course, the other one, because, well, I like spooky things. Why not, go ghost hunting and be able to actually fight the ghosts with a real life item, which has never been used for ghost hunting before. It was used to study eclipses. The camera obscura from the Fatal Frame series. I mean, I think that'd be fun if you had camera obscuras and you watch like Zach Bagans going into like Waverly Hills and he gets some like psychotic, like deceased mental spirit. It's just, could you imagine watching him taking pictures of it and fighting it?
That's fun. Question on the Animus thing. So let's say you use it, and this is more a Assassin's Creed lore question. You use it and you're living a life, like you live a day in your ancestor's life. Does a day also go by in real world, or is it just like minutes?
So they never fully explain that. I don't truly, I'm not 100% truly sure. I know that there is passage of time. I just don't know, because when you're talking in game time, I can run from, as Altair, I could run from Aurora, Illinois to Miami, Florida. In game time, that's like an hour, but in the real world, that would be, running there, what, a week or
It's
two?
Inception rules.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was wondering if it was like Inception based nonsense.
So when you're inside the Animus and you're doing that, like you're living time, again, there is passage of time in the real world, because every time you come out of it, like the people who are monitoring you say like, oh, well, I did this while you were inside. I did this while you were, inside. I went to the store, or this came for you while you were there. We found this while you were. So there is passage of time. Again, it doesn't quite define how much time passes per 24-hour cycle.
Gotcha. I was curious about that. It's interesting. I would want the Animus only if the nonsense Inception rules would apply. Like I think that'd be, because otherwise I wouldn't want to have to live my life just in the ancestors of the past. Because be real honest, my ancestors of the past would probably be really freaking boring. I'd be working at a dry cleaner, and I would probably be cleaning an old timey window or something like that. Like, yeah, that's well. I would have a couple veterans fighting in the World War, World War I and II. That'd be neat. But
See, and again, but that's the thing. Your bloodline continues further back than that. As you see in Assassin's Creed, the Animus takes them back to BC or just after AD just after AD. So long periods of time into things like that. So you never know who could be in your ancestor.
Yeah, you
Although,
might be getting tortured to death by ancient Sumerians.
or you're one of the 240 million people on the Earth that would go all the way back to Genghis Khan. Like, okay, great. So everybody, 240 million people that plays Genghis Khan. Great, thanks.
We're all cousins.
Oh
Yeehaw.
man. Before we wrap things up, does anyone else want to play that? I have a real life power up. Anybody want to chime in with theirs?
Teleportation and telekinesis. Those would be
Yep, those are
two of
good
the
ones.
best ones.
Yep. Go with that.
Nice. Yeah.
Nightcrawler's teleportability almost made my power ups list, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with something that's not IP.
Yeah, I think I'd probably take the materia from Final Fantasy VII.
Especially Meteor.
Okay, Sephiroth.
Sorry,
Well,
I'm getting a little
maybe
dark
now.
tonight.
Maybe now we would.
With you people and all your item-based powers, I need the Meteor materia.
So Hillbilly's, actual one isn't the ability to do a perfect rendition of one winged angel.
I mean, he doesn't.
That would've
He
been
literally
pretty
would
nice.
if he had Meteor. The music would be playing as it gets ready to crash into the earth.
It's part of the materia.
Yep.
I like it.
I mean, you had the hair for it, Hardicus.
Hey, it's coming back.
Yes. Okay.
It's already past my shoulders.
There you go. Alrighty. Yeah, so that is our favorite power up, and a couple of little show notes. We will be taking next week off as I have a prior obligation, but we will be returning with a season 2, start of a season 2 episode. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that, so stay tuned for season 2. That I just realized what I did there. That was pretty terrible. Parting shots.
I got one if no one else has any.
Hardicus.
Since we're ending our season, we gotta end a season on a cliffhanger. Jason, will you marry me? Find out
Tune
next
in
season.
next time.
On
And with that, we
Dragon
lost the 5
Ball
people that
Z.
watch.